The next topic is new directions in language learning psychology. Language learning psychology basically deals with the psychology of learning a language, and we have seen that number of theories have been proposed in this area, but now we will look at some of the new directions that are there in this particular domain. Language learning psychology has been defined by Mercer, Rayan and Williams as being concerned with mental experiences, processes, thoughts, feelings, motives, and behavior of individuals involved in language learning. So we have already discussed that language learning takes into account number of factors, but these different areas broadly come under psychological aspects as well as the affective, or you can say when we talk about the psychological aspect, it takes into account primarily all the mental processes that are involved, the cognition that are involved, and the affective aspects which are more to do with the thoughts and feelings, motives and behavior of individual that are there. So the new directions in the language learning has been seen in the area of all, or a combination of all of these characteristic or traits that are there right in front of you. So let's try to figure out what we mean by this, or incorporating these particular characteristics into the psychology of language learning. The first point is about the complex system theory, which is CST. Now we have Kostulas and Stelma. Who actually explore the potential of intentionality and complex systems theory as a basis for new theoretical directions in language learning psychology. Now, according to them, intentionalities can orient language learning activity towards particular attracted or preferred state, and they also argue that intentionalities are linked to differing timescales. Now, Carol, Griffiths and Gottsev suggest new directions for a specific area of research in the field, namely language learning strategy research. Then we have Dietmar, who reinterpret learner autonomy as a complex dynamic system in which the relationships with the system are foregrounded. Now he suggests focusing on the interactional systemic nature of autonomy, and concludes by making recommendations for instructors on the kinds of interaction and relationships that may foster language learners' autonomy in formal educational setting. Then we have Maria, who also examines an area with an autonomy and investigates the role of emotions and feelings in tertiary language advising discourse. She used discourse analysis to examine audio recording and transcripts of individual advising sessions and detected significant traces of emotions in the learner's discourse. She concludes that language advising involves a mutual sharing of emotions and argues for an interdisciplinary approach to it. So we see that these researchers have given new directions in language learning psychology, starting from Kostulas, who introduced complex system theory. Then we have language learning strategy research proposed by Carroll, and then we also have the learner autonomy as something which is very complex or dynamic system as proposed by Dietmar, and then Maria, who actually looks at the role of emotion and feelings in terms of the language learning process and how it can be analyzed through advising discourse. To conclude, new directions in psychology of language learning includes work done by various authors in respect to range of psychological constructs such as motivation, anxiety, autonomy, and strategies.